So XPath is the last locator in 8 locators that Selenium supports. So Selenium supports totally 8 locators, and this is going to be slightly bigger topic, and there are so many combinations and so many topics and so much practice we have to do. I will show you definitely some of the possibilities and examples in today's and next sessions, but you have to pick any different website or same website and try to practice more. So in terms of the interview also and company work also, the XPath is definitely going to be very useful because most of the times we don't find any kind of unique properties like IDs or even the CSS selector is also useful sometimes and it may not help in sometimes. So at that time you have to use the XPath extensively. So XPath is also an important locator, so you should not use, you should never ignore the XPath. So XPath is also important. You have to definitely practice. So whenever any website they are giving an interview, and it will be difficult if you don't practice, and you cannot frame the XPath easily if you are not good knowing the syntax or how to do right. So you have to practice this one. So let's get started with the XPath. So XPath abbreviation is like it came from the XML. Like XML is a file format, and XML came from some language like extensible markup language. So if you are abbreviating the XML, right? So if you think like EX, so here X is caps and markup, M is caps and L is caps. So extensible markup language. So in terms of the web pages or any other standalone offline file format also, XML is also one file format, and it is having some kind of syntax and some methods are supported to in order to work on the XML files, and this also works with the HTML web pages. So this XPath we are going to learn. So this XPath name came from this XML path. In short form we call as XPath, but it is XML path, and this XML abbreviation is like extensible markup language, which is also one of the file format, and it has some methods available which will help us to write the XPath and work on them. So if you are thinking about XPath, similar to other locators, it is also one of the locator which uh, which will point to an element on the web page. So any element, if you are writing an XPath, right, it is also one of the locator which will point to an element. So whenever you are trying to find an element locator, you can use XPath to find a unique element. In case other locators are not working, in that case XPath will definitely help you. So you have to use XPath to find the address or locator of an element. So these are the basics of XPath, and when it comes to the XPath, right? So uh, in general, when any web page is loaded, whenever you are trying to do this, you are launching a browser and you are loading a website. Even if you are doing with automation or manually also, suppose I am loading this saucedemo.com. So before I load the website, this is an empty website, right? If I do inspect, that HTML DOM structure will not be there. Whenever I am doing source demo, it is going to load this information. You can see that this swag labs HTML page will load only when there is the website loaded in the browser. So here it is something else. It's not the source demo website. So whenever I'm loading this website into this browser tab, then only after loading some information is loaded here. That is the information for the website HTML page. So internally in the background, what happens, right? We also use some terminology like document object model, DOM structure. So this whatever DOM or document object model in the background, what happens, right? In the background, it will load all the information, and whenever this DOM or document object model is completely loaded, whenever document object DOM is loaded, then only this XPath will work. Even any other locator also, only whenever the page is completely loaded, only it will work. Otherwise, the element not found exception will come. It's like no such element exception. So this DOM should be completely loaded in most of the cases. So then only the locator will work for us. So this terminology is frequently used in any projects also. DOM we will say. So DOM is nothing but the HTML structure which is already loaded in the web page after a browser is loaded. So if you are navigating to a different page, right, after login, suppose I am entering the standard user and password. Username I am entering and source, secret source I am entering here and clicking on login. After that, it is loading a different page, source demo, inventory HTML. So here also the DOM structure will be refreshed again with the new page. Whenever some page navigation happens, the new page information will be coming into this DOM. So this DOM structure will be refreshed every time a page is loaded. So whenever this XPath is not working right, then in that case, even the Eclipse console also sometimes you can see like the DOM is not loaded or some kind of errors will come. So for a background of information, so DOM means nothing but the HTML structure whatever is displayed here. So now let's talk about the types of XPath that are available. So there are two types of XPaths available in any web pages whenever you are trying to automate, right? So there is an absolute XPath and there is an relative XPath. So what is absolute XPath and what is relative XPath? We will see some examples and which one is preferred and say there are some differences of these two also. Although this is a beginner interview question, people will ask you whenever you are attending interviews, like even whatever experience level you have, this is a basic thing. So they can ask you in any interview. So in this web page, what I will do, let me go to the login page again. So log out and let me highlight on this username field. So I am going to close all the other browser windows and highlight on the username. And if you are doing right click on this and there is a copy option, you can see copy XPath is there, right? So copy XPath. So this is the relative XPath. And in case I let me open this in this browser. So sourcedemo.com. So highlight the username in the Edge browser. So here we can right click and there is a copy option. So here there are two options are there. In the Edge browser only these options are available. In Firefox you can see like if you are right clicking copy is having only XPath. Full XPath is not coming. In case you want to check it with Edge browser that will work. Edge or Chrome browser you can try. So first of all highlight any element, whatever element you want to find and it will list this tag, whatever tag is having that. So on the tag you right click and there is a copy option. So copy XPath and copy full XPath. So first of all select copy full XPath. So this is the syntax for the absolute XPath. When it comes to the relative XPath, you can again right click on this element, go to copy and copy XPath. So this is the relative XPath. So the syntax of relative XPath is this and the syntax of absolute XPath is this. So now let me explain the differences between them. So if you are thinking about absolute XPath, right? So generally the absolute XPath will start from the starting of the element. So the web page starts with HTML. So HTML, then there is a head and body and divs are there. Multiple divs are there. So you can see like HTML body div, then there is one more div and there is a second div and there is again first div is there. There are multiple divs and forms and finally input is there. This means this is the full path from the root node. You can think root node is the HTML. So the root node means the parent node of the entire web page. So the full path is nothing but the absolute X path. So it will start with the starting of the web page and it will come to that element. This is also absolute X path, and mostly it will not start generally in the middle. So if you are giving a single slash and writing up to this, right? Uh, so this is not going to work. So the absolute X path means you have to give the complete information from the starting root node. So this is absolute X path. In case of relative X path, it will start from the middle. Anywhere in the web page it can go, and it can start working, right? So this XPath will work in anywhere. So double slash here it will be, here it is single slash. Absolute XPath will start with single slash always, and relative XPath will start with double slash. Double slash means it is relative. So if I give you a practical example of a relative XPath, let's say like if you are telling your house address, right? Suppose you want to tell your house address. So how will you generally say? You will say some flat number and some street address and some colony, etc. Right? And also you can also say like it is near to some temple or something. You can say, right? It is near to this temple, or the shopping mall is there near to my house. So for recognizing purpose, it is very easy for us. So uh, this is a practical example. Similarly, the relative XPath, how it work, right? If you need to find a locator of any element, you will be giving a relative location of another element. So like the particular element whatever I am trying to find, it is near to some other element. So that means it is a relative XPath. So how we find the house address, we will give some clues to the people, right? Whoever is coming new to our house, we will give some clues, like it is new to this temple or shopping mall, it is near to our house, so that they can identify easily and come to our house. So similarly the relative XPath also, how it works, we will give some nearest location, like this locator is near to this username field, let's say like that. So this is a practical example. So relative XPath and absolute XPath, I try to say some basic information. So which one is the preferred? Which is the preferred XPath? If anyone asks you this question, it is always relative XPath. You should never use the absolute XPath. 100% mostly you should never use the absolute XPath, because whenever any other div or anything is additionally added in the web page, this XPath will fail. It will never pass. Maybe one time, or this week or next week it can pass, but after 2 3 weeks definitely it will fail, because there is a possibility of more elements getting added in the HTML page, and it's not at all recommended to use the absolute XPath. Always you have to use the relative XPath. So in interviews, if people are asking which XPaths are available, you should say this background, like absolute XPath is there and relative XPath is there. And relative XPath, we will give some information which is the nearest locator of the ID or name or anything we can pass. And relative XPath is the preferred XPath. We should not use absolute XPath even in your company also. So always try to use the relative XPath. So I will give you some examples. So before that, let's understand the differences between the absolute and relative XPaths. Differences between absolute XPath, relative XPath. So the first difference is absolute XPath starts with a single slash. So here slash HTML is there. That means single slash it will start. If you are thinking about relative XPath, it will start with double slash. Double slash itself means that it is relative XPath. So we will learn more of relative XPath further. But first of all, try to understand the difference. So even after whenever I complete discussing the relative XPath, then you will understand these differences even better. So I'm going to give the high level little differences, whatever the absolute and relative XPaths are there. In terms of the absolute XPath, we do not pass any kind of attributes in general. So attribute values we don't pass. So we will only give the tag names like HTML, body, div, live, like this. So we are not going to pass any attributes and values. In absolute, it's not generally we don't follow that kind of syntax. So even that can be followed, but most of the time the absolute XPath will be not having any kind of attributes. And relative XPath, we will use some attributes and values. So absolute, we do not use attributes and values. Even we can use, but in general, we don't use it. So if I find the absolute XPath, right, in this case, it has given me like without any attributes. But relative XPath, it given me with some attributes. And relative XPath will have some attributes. And in general, like the third difference, if you think about the absolute XPath, will start with the root node, start of the HTML page. So if you think about the relative XPath, it starts in the middle, anywhere in the web page. It can start anywhere in the web page. So that's why it is double slash. So we will proceed further with the relative XPath. These are the basic differences. And even if you are not able to convey this properly, right, you can say like double slash and single slash. Single slash is the absolute and double slash is relative XPath. And the second difference is also easy, right? So attributes and values we don't generally pass in the absolute XPath, but in relative XPath we pass the attributes and values. So up to this it is fine. This absolute XPath we will start from the root node and go up to the element. So input tag is somewhere in the middle of the screen. So we are starting from HTML going to body and div. So many divs are there. Then only input is coming. But here directly I'm passing the ID. So that is the main differences. So let me start learning the relative XPath. So what is the syntax of relative XPath? So this is the basic syntax of the XPath we generally write. So this is the basic XPath. We have to put double slash for relative XPath and give the tag name, and we should pass a square bracket, and inside square bracket we have to use at the rate tag attribute. So at the rate attribute you have to give equal to value in double quote or single quote, which is fine. So this is the syntax you have to follow, and let's start writing using this syntax some locators. So I'm going to write some XPath, relative XPath for any web page. So for this swag labs, I am going to write some XPath. So for username, let's write. So input is there, right? So input double slash input, and inside square bracket I have to pass the attribute. So if you are simply passing ID equal to username, it will not work. You have to put at the rate symbol. In case you didn't put the at the rate symbol, do control C for this. And in the web page, you do control F, and in the search, you put it. So there it will not work. No matches will come. So at the rate is mandatory for attribute. So this is the syntax you have to follow. So do control F again and do this one and put enter, right? One of one is coming. That means this locator is working fine. So this is one of the example for finding a relative XPath. This case is very simple and straightforward. So let's start with simple cases, and we can learn the complex things after some time. So this is one example. If I am trying for password field, so let's try. So the password is having the input, and it is also having this ID password, or you can also try with this placeholder password or type equal to password. Anything you can try. So let me try it with this. So you have to give double slash input, and put square bracket and give at the rate type equal to password. You can see one of one is coming. Whenever I am clicking enter, the password is highlighted. So this is another example. In case ID you are having, right, ID you can directly use in the Selenium, or you can also write an XPath also, which is totally fine. So ID is also one of the attribute that is in the HTML. So you can use ID, or you can use name, or you can also use this kind of placeholder you can use, or type is one attribute, and class is also another attribute. So in case you want to use the class, so double slash input, and inside square bracket you put at the rate and paste the class. So one of two is coming. That means two elements are there for this class. So this is also another valid XPath. So in case of class, you have to pass the information completely. So it's not like a CSS selector. In this case, you have to, if you are giving equal to symbol here, you have to pass the full class name. Partial class name is some other different thing that we will discuss later. But if you are giving equal to symbol, right, you should have to pass the complete class name. If you put partial class name, it will not work. You can try that also. If you are putting partial class name and no matches will come. So even if there is a space also, that is totally okay. Put everything inside the double quotes. If you want to try a different thing, so let me try for the login button. So input is there. So put double slash input, and inside square bracket, let me try this data test. At the rate you have to give. So one of one is coming. So even this data test attribute is also totally fine. So you can use any kind of attribute that is available inside the web page for that particular tag element, and you can use it. In this case, we are also having this value also. If you see, there is a value also. There is a element called value. Instead of data test, let me remove that and put value also. Value equal to login. Put at the rate login. So that is also working fine. So you can utilize any attribute. So this is the syntax, and you can write like this multiple ways. So these are simple XPath we are writing. So uh, using this XPath, now I want to log in for this website. So enter the username, enter password, and click on login. So let's try this one. So click on cancel, and I'm going to start writing the code for XPath. So close all these things and create a new class. XPath locator demo. WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver I will take. Driver.get method. So I'm going to take this website URL and pass it in this case. So after you launch the browser and load the website, what is the next step? Enter some value in the username field and password field and click on login button. So that is our basic test case. So driver dot find element by dot. Now I have to use for XPath. So XPath is accepting some string expression. So inside double quotes you have to pass this. So if I go back, what is the username, right? In case of username, either ID you can pass or any other element also you can pass. So if I check here, even type equal to text is also there. So even for type equal to text, only single element is there. So I am going to use this one. So input @type equal to text. So either you can put single quote or this should be fine. So let me put single quote, and we can also test whether this locator is working or not. Copy this. So one of one is coming. That means this locator is working. So in case you want to do send keys directly, which is totally fine, you can do send keys and enter that standard underscore user username. So the same code for password also I will enter. So in case of password, what I will do, type equal to password. This locator I want to use. So you can put in single quotes or slash double quote. That is fine. So send keys, the password value is secret underscore sauce. So after entering the username and password, what is the next step? You have to click on the login button. By.xpath, and for login button, we are having this value login, right? Let's check whether it is working or not. Control F, and here do Control F and search for that. So login button locator is working. So we can use this login, which is fine. And here I need to click on login. After login, what is the next step? So if you want to print any value from the products, right? So we can try that. Take standard user and put the secret sauce password and click on login, and keep the cursor and take any information like I can take this product information again. So keep the cursor and take the product information. So in this case, so span and class equal to title, right? So I can use like this. So do Control F and write span, and inside square bracket put class equal to title. So it is highlighting the products. So even this locator is also we can use. So driver dot find element by dot xpath. So span class equal to title I have to use. So class equal to title. And after this, this element is having some text is there. So use the get text method and store this information into a string variable. So string text equal to driver dot find element of span class equal to title. So this is the XPath for the text products. So this products text is there inside a span tag. So span tag, and it is having an attribute class equal to title. You can either use that, or you can also use data hyphen test equal to title. You can even use this also, which is fine. So anything you can use, and the get text method in order to retrieve the text that is visible. So put it inside this and do the print statement. So let me close all the browsers, and we will execute this code. So save this one and run as Java application. So it is launching the browser and loading the source demo, entering the username password, and it is logging in successfully, and the products is displayed, and it also printed the value. In case you want to do driver.close, the browser also will get closed. Run as Java application. So it will launch the browser and go to the website and login password and click on login, and it printed the products and closed the browser. So whatever we are expecting, it is working fine. So these are all simple experts. We have written some code around that. Either you can pass in single quotes or you can pass slash double quote, which is fine. Either way, it is going to work. So after this, let's learn about one method called text method. So here we are talking about the attributes every time. So there is something else like text method is also available in the XML language. So this XML is an XPath, right? So as I told, this XML is some kind of language which will deal with the XML files. So it is also some having some inbuilt method like text method is there. So what is the syntax, right? If you want to use a text method, you have to use this tag, and inside square bracket you have to put text equal to, and inside single quote or double quote you have to pass the value. So here there is no at the rate symbol. At the rate we should not use with the text method. At the rate we should use only with the attributes. These attributes are available in the web page, but this text method is not available in the web page. This text is having a bracket. So this text method is provided by the XML language. So this XPath is a kind of simple programming language you can think of. It's not a fully programming language, but it's a simple language which will support the text method. So this is the syntax you have to follow, and we can try it out whether this is going to work for me. So how the text method will work, we will see some example. So identify a username, and in case of this username, we don't find any text actually. So this text method will work only on the visible text. So there is a visible text in this case. So but this login button, let's check whether any text is there. So login button is also not having any visible text. So the text is available inside the attribute. So this value attribute is having login, but there is no visible text available. So this will not work. So the username, accepted usernames are colon. So this is having some visible text. So the text method will work on this, and even password for all users. So even for this case also it will work. So if you want to write it, right, so put double slash, and you can write the h4 tag and put square bracket and use the text brackets equal to and pass the value. So you can see one of one. So let me copy this to notepad, you will see it better. So the example is like this. So h4 is one tag is there, and text brackets you have to give and put equal to, and either pass in single quotes or double quotes, and you have to pass this particular text whatever is visible on the screen. So this text should be visible, right? It's not if it is inside the login button is something which is having the value internally. So the login is not having any visible text. But in case of this accepted usernames or password for all users, this is a text that is visible, like it should be in this like this example. So the tag is available, between the tags there is a value visible, right? So this means that this is a visible text. So the text method works on only on the visible text, not on the attributes. So whatever values are inside the attributes, that case you cannot use the text method. Text will work only in this website. I don't see multiple examples. So either you can use all these any kind of locator. So secret sauce also we can try. So password for all users, and secret sauce doesn't seems to have any kind of locator. You see. So under the div directly secret sauce is there. Secret sauce is not having any kind of tag available, but password for all users is having a tag. So let me try this one. So for this I will be going to create one more XML locator demo2. Open this demo2 file, and in this case I'll remove everything. First of all, launch the browser and load the website, and after this driver.find element by.xpath. So this is also a method in XPath. So by.xpath and put double quotes and then pass this locator. So this test locator text. So this particular locator, what it will do, it will go to this web page and get the element for this locator. So if this is kind of a button or something, I can click, but this is a simple text, right? So what I can do, I can take text equal to maybe text value or some variable I can create, and I can use the dot get text method in this case. And you can print this value on the console. So launch the browser and goes to source demo and find the element using this text method. So password for all users. So although this may not be valid thing, so whenever we are learning the advanced topics of XPath axis and other topics we will discuss further. So whenever I am discussing that, this is going to be very helpful. So this topic and this topic will help me to find the complex XPath. So these are simple XPath, but if you are writing a complex XPath with something like XPath axis, that means on one XPath you are writing another XPath. So you are writing one XPath and again putting one slash and you are giving div again. You are giving div like this is a complex XPath. So in case of XPath axis, this is going to be very useful. But in this example, you may think like this is not meaningful, right? So I am finding the element using the text, again using the get text method, and again printing that on the console. This is not meaningful, but just for practice, I am doing this. So close this browser and let's simply execute it for testing purpose. So run as Java application. So you can see whatever locator I have passed, the same text value have been retrieved successfully. So go to sourcedemo.com. So whatever we are expecting, it is working as expected. So this is fine. This is a simple scenario. If I inspect this page again, so password for all users. So this is not having any child kind of element. So we can go to a different website, demo.opencard.com, and let me try to get the featured text. So do right click and do inspect and keep the cursor on the featured. So you can see hash3 featured is there. So if I do control F and put hash3, right, there is only single element. Even you can simply use the double slash tag also. In case you don't want to use any attribute, right, even this is also valid only. This is valid. Without any attribute, you can put double slash with only simply tag also. It is totally fine. So double slash hash3 I have given. Only one of one element came. That means the featured text will be retrieved if I use the double slash hash3. So I will write a simple code in order to execute that case. So let me copy this particular demo2 and create demo3, control C, control V at that location and open the demo3. And in the demo3, I am going to load this demo opencard.com. So here, let me retrieve the text driver.find element and I am going to pass the XPath double slash hash3. So double slash hash3 and use the get text method and then print this text value and close the browser. So close all these browser windows and let's execute this OpenCard demo website and get the featured text. So you can see this. It has launched very quickly and it closed the browser and you can see the featured text is also printed on the console. So this is a simple case. Even the double slash tag is totally valid and in case you want to find multiple elements or single element also, this example you can use. or this example you can use, or you can also use the text method also, which is totally fine. So text method you will use mostly with maybe some XPath access to write a complex XPath. For simple XPath, we will generally prefer this relative XPath, which is writing the tag name and passing the ID and attribute. So let's try with some other things. So if we go to the sourcedemo.com and right click and do inspect. So here what I will do, I will put double slash div and click on enter. You can see 14 elements are coming. That means with the div tag there are totally 14 elements. So in case you want to find with input, double slash input if I am giving, right, totally 3 elements are there. And you can also try with a different one. So double slash form if I am giving, only one element is there. So this website is not having any more elements. So if we go to the demo.opencard.com, this will have so many elements. If we inspect this, put double slash div and you can see total 92 elements are there. So double slash and put div. This is the tag name, and put double slash and put input. So you can see total 11 elements are there. And yesterday I discussed about the link text, right? So A, if you are giving A, double slash A means how many links are available. So totally 76 A tags are there. So A is a tag in HTML. So if I am giving double slash A, total 76 elements are coming. So similarly, there are elements like Li is one tag name. So 63 are there. Double slash tag name and double slash UL. There are 17 elements. Double slash NAV is one tag is there. So there are two elements. So similarly, there are so many. There are like header is also there. Double slash header is only one is there, and there is a footer also. So footer is one element. There is a main element. This is one tag. So this way you can find multiple elements. Most of the times, double slash tag if you are using, this is going to work with only multiple elements. So single element will be rarely encountered. If you want to find a single element, you have to pass the attribute also, or you can even use the text method or some other methods also we can utilize. So this featured example is fine. So we can write few more basic code like and then proceed. So demo 4 I am taking. So in this demo 4 I am going to the OpenCart website, and in this case what I will do, I will use the find elements method and find all the divs. So find elements return type is list of web elements. Give the name as variable name as elements and do the import statement. So whatever XPath double slash div is having all the elements, right? I want to extract the text of these elements and I will print on the console. So first of all, we can also find the size of this. So elements dot size. So size method is available in the list collection. So it will print the size of this tag name div. So double slash div is the tag name. So using this XPath, I will find the size first. And after this, we can also use a for loop in order to print all these values. So inside the for loop, you pass the web element and pass some element and give the list of elements is elements, and you can pass one element, and inside this you can print it. So ele dot get text. So on every element, I am using the get text method and printing all those values on the console. So you can close this browser and save this file, and let's run this. So it will launch the OpenCart demo website, and it has printed all the text information in the every tag div. Every div tag it has taken, and totally 92 elements are there. and it has printed everything. So yesterday I have showed you with the by.tag name div, right? So this is also similar. XPath also, if you are giving double slash tag name, this is similar to the by.tag name. So instead of div, if you put input also, let me try this one more time. So close the console and try for input. It will launch the website and it will get the elements, total 11 elements are there. And in the input fields, mostly it is a text box. There is no information, so nothing is printed. And in case you want to do something else, so let me pass footer. So in the footer XPath, let's see if any information is there. So there is only one footer tag is there, and in the footer, all this information is available. So there are other tags like LI, UL, so many things. So let me try for LI if any information is available. So in the LI tags, there are totally 63 and there is a dollar currency and there is so much information. So all this information is available in the LI tag. There is some other tag like UL also. If I run this one, run as Java application. So for the UL tag, let's see what is the information available. So there are totally 17 elements and you can see like this is the all the information available. And if you want to see for the A, right? A is like it is having the hyperlinks. So whenever you are clicking on it, it is redirecting to some other. The example where we have seen the link text. So these are all the links that are available on the web page. So if you want to find the locator and if you are trying to print the text value of that locator, tag name A. So all these are different links available. So totally 76 links are there. So dollar currency and some of the links are not having any text visible for the user, and my account and wish list and shopping cart and checkout, this we have seen in yesterday's session. So notebooks and components and cameras and tablets, we have seen an example for link text yesterday. So these are also getting extracted and some of them do not have any text available, so that's why blank is coming. So all these are links available on the website. So like this, based on your requirement, you can use the find elements method and use the tag name. And these are simple experts. So in the next session, we will go through some of the advanced experts that are available. So in the previous session, we were discussing about the types of locators and also the relative XPath is what the preferred XPath we are discussing, and this is the syntax for the relative XPath. If you have a one attribute like tag name and attribute value we were passing, and also some examples we have seen for the text method. So this is the example text and small brackets you have to give and you pass the value. So these are two examples for the XPath. So today's session mainly focus on majorly on all the types of methods that are available in the XPath, and we also discuss a topic in XPath called as XPath access. So everything, let's go step by step. So previously we were discussing XPath with single attribute. So this is called as XPath with single attribute. So this is a relative XPath with passing with single attribute. In case you want to pass multiple attributes, right? That is also possible. Let's say like you are trying to find a username of any login page. So if I go to a website sourcedemo.com. So here the username text box I am finding using XPath. So for this, this is an input tag and it is also having multiple attributes like class, placeholder, type, data test, ID, name. There are so many attributes. So in case you want to find it with ID equal to username, right? So this is called as single attribute. at the rate id equal to, here the tag is input. So this is called as example for single attribute. Single attribute and its value. ID is an attribute, so you should put at the rate symbol. So this is the XPath for single attribute XPath. In case for with this XPath, right, you are getting multiple locators. Then in that case, multiple elements are found using this. So this is not a unique locator. In that case, you have to use multi-attribute locator also. Multi-attribute XPath. So how can we do that? First of all, you have to write the same thing. And in case you want to pass additional attributes, right, you can put one more square bracket at the end of the first square bracket. So input you have to pass, this is input is the tag name, and after that you have to give at the rate id equal to username. After that again put square bracket, and in this you can pass a different attribute that is available here. So here I am putting placeholder, at the rate placeholder we should give, this is an attribute, at the rate placeholder equal to username. You can give like this, or you can give even some other attribute. Instead of placeholder, suppose you want to give type equal to text, even you can pass that. So both these locators will work. In case this single attribute XPath is giving only not unique elements, right? Maybe 5 or 6 elements or 2 elements it is giving. Then you cannot use this to automate, and it's not a stable locator, so you cannot use this one. You have to use a multi attribute. So that means when both of these attributes are available in that element, then only this will pass. So the problem with multi attribute is all the attributes should be available, should be matching. If one of the attribute is not matching, then the overall XPath will fail. So this will fail completely. In case you want to test it out, right? So first of all, let me copy this, Control C, and go to the browser. And here you do Control F, and here find by string selector XPath. You paste it inside that. So this is single attribute XPath. It is giving one of one. That means the element is found. In case you want to find multi attribute XPath, remove the single attribute and paste the multi attribute. So one of one is coming. In case I am giving some incorrect value for the placeholder just for testing purpose, so 0 of 0 is coming. Even though user id, like id is correct only, but the other attribute is wrong, right? Or maybe something changed in the runtime in future whenever developer changes something in the web application. At that time multi attribute will fail because both of them should match. So here all attributes should be matching, then only this will be working. If at least if one of them fail, right, like the overall XPath will fail. So here one of one, instead of text, if I am giving some other text, it will not work. 0 of 0 is coming. So type equal to ABC I gave, so just for testing, so it's not working. So only valid attributes we have to pass, and all the attributes should be matching, then only multi attribute will work. So you can either follow this approach or follow this approach. So this is one topic. And in case of single attribute XPath or multi attribute XPath, here explicit tag name we are specifying. So explicit tag name is specified. That means the input is the tag name. This is explicitly told. In case you do not know the or you feel like you don't want to give the tag name, right? Even you can put star also. Star is like wildcard. Wildcard, or it can be treated like any tag name. Any tag name it will consider. Like even if the tag name changes in future also, this particular relative XPath will work. But input is, if you specify input only for input tag name, it will work. It will not work for other attributes, other tag names. So let me try the second one. This will also work. So one of one is coming. That means even if you don't specify the tag name and give star mark, right? So the star mark will be treated as any tag name. Even if input is changing to some other tag name in future, even then this will be going to work. So based on the requirement, we are going to use like star you can use. And if you are feeling like if you are giving star and there are like multiple elements found using the star, then you have to pass a tag name so that the locator will be unique. So every time your main goal is like the locator should be unique, otherwise the automation test will fail. In maybe next week or next month also it can fail, right? So always the tag name you have to pass if there are multiple elements. If there are single element, even giving the star is also fine. Any it will consider like any tag and it will find the element. So here star I have given, one of one is coming. And after this, in XPath, there are few more topics like XPath with and or operators. So this is one of the XPath I have taken. In case I want to pass multiple attributes using an and or operators, so that is also possible. So how can I do that? So first of all, we are having this ID equal to username, one attribute we have passed in the XPath. And in case you want to pass the type equal to text or placeholder equal to username. So let me take type equal to text and I want to use the AND operator. So for using the AND operator, how can I do? Inside the same square bracket, you have to put a space after the first attribute value and put AND symbol and you give at the rate type equal to text. So this is the example for AND operator example. So let me try this whether it will work or not. So paste that locator and see like one of one is coming. That means the AND is working. So this is the example for AND operator. And here both the attributes should be matching. If at least one of the attribute is failing, right, then the overall XPath will fail. So AND operator, the disadvantage is like both attributes should match. That is the requirement of AND operation. AND is like logical operation where when both of them are matching, then only the locator will be passing, and you can see like one of one is coming here. If at least one of the locator is failing, right, instead of text I am giving TE like TEX or something, so 0 of 0 is coming. That means if both are matching, then only this is going to work. Coming to OR operator, at least one of them should match. So the example for OR operation is instead of AND you have to put OR here. So let me try this. So with OR operator, at least one of them like ID equal to username or type equal to text, at least one of them is matching, right? Then one of one is coming. In case the second one, instead of text I am passing TE only. Even then this element is found. Why? Because uh, at least the ID is correct only, right? Type equal to type TE got failed, but it is an OR symbol. OR means if either one of them is working fine, then the other will be ignored and it will proceed and find the XPath correctly. So OR operation is like at least one of them should work. If both of them did not work, means it is anyway going to fail. So the OR operation, the minimum criteria is one of them should work. AND operation is both should work. So this XPath logic also you can use based on the requirement. So XPath concept we generally use whenever we do not find the locator for other categories like ID, name, or any other category we are not finding a unique locator, right? That time you can use the XPath. So either use single attribute or multi attribute or and or operation. So even there are more possibilities like XPath access also we will discuss. Next one is XPath with inner text. using the text method. We have already seen this one. So where we can utilize this, I will just give you an example. So previous session we have seen the example for text method. So this is the example for text method. You have to give double slash and give the tag. After that, give text brackets. This is a method in XML language. So you have to give text and bracket you have to give. You should not give at the rate symbol for the text method. So you have to give text and bracket. It is a method in XML and pass the value either in single quote or double quote you can pass. So the main requirement where the text method will come, right? So I can give you one example. So let me take like there is some element like, so we have an element saying like a href. So this is a link on the web page. So let's take like for the link text example I told you, right? So the a tag will be denoting the links and href is the link which it will redirect. And after that the link text is Google I am giving. So this is the HTML tag that I am having on the web page. So in this example, what is the link text? Google is the link text, and whenever somebody click on this element Google, right? So it will redirect to this page called https colon google.com. So similarly, you can consider any website. So href is having some website link and some text is visible here. So in this example, if you are using the locator link text saying like Google, right? This is going to work and the link text will work. And in the same way, if you want to click on Google option instead of link text method using XPath, how can you do that? So you can use this syntax double slash a, and inside square bracket you are going to give the text method, and in the single quotes or double quotes you pass Google. So either use by.link text method or use by.xpath and you can use this method. Either one of the way you can use and this is going to work. So the text method, one of the advantages like instead of using the link text, you can also use this one. So either one of the approach you can follow, and you can also mix it with even the XPath access topic we will discuss today. So you can utilize the XPath access also along with the text method in order to find a unique locator. So the text method previously I have already showed an example in case you want to see one more time. So let me click on this login and so this is not a text. So let's see like Swag Labs is there. So Swag Labs double slash star I am giving and giving text brackets equal to put Swag Labs. So two elements are coming for Swag Labs. So at the center of the screen somewhere one more Swag Lab is there. So there is one of two. So total two elements are there. So this is the locator I was trying. So star means it is a wildcard and any tag it will consider. After that the text method and you can pass the text of that. So this is the one example. Similarly, anywhere the inner text, what is inner text? Whatever text is visible for the user on the screen, that is called as inner text. So if it is inside some attribute, then you have to use these attributes only. So these are the examples for attribute values. But this inner text example is for the visible text on the screen. So this is the visible text on the screen. So it is visible for the user. And in case of login, it is not a actual text input. It is a button, right? So the login is available inside the value attribute. So here you cannot utilize the text method. So this is not a text, right? It is a button. So it is slightly different. The Swag Labs is a text, so definitely you can utilize. And even this accepted usernames, you can also use this text method for that also. So even the previous session, you can go like I have showed for password for all users. or even you can find the accepted usernames are double slash h4, inside bracket you put text bracket, in double quotes you pass this. So one of one is coming. So this means like the text method is working and you can able to extract this locator element text. So this is another example. So you can apply with any text whatever is visible on the screen. So that is the inner text. Inner text means in between the tag names the text is available. So h4 is the starting of the tag and slash h4 is the end of the tag. In between the both the start and end of the tag there is some text is visible, right? That is called as inner text. That text will be visible for the user on the screen. Even the secret sauce or password for all users also you can see h4 is there. H4 is the starting tag and in between the starting and ending tag there is a text. So that is going to be visible on the screen. So similarly in this web page there are not much elements, but you can take any other demo websites and practice this. So this locator also will be useful based on the requirement. Instead of link text you can also utilize this. uh, First of all you will find the element of this Google, maybe Google hyperlink is available, so you can find out the locator and click on it, and then after that you can proceed with the further steps. So that's an example. So after this let's see the some more examples. So in this case let's think like instead of this, right, suppose I'm having one div, and the text is visible on the screen like div Swaroop Nadella. So this is one tag that is available. Let's suppose, and it is the starting of the tag, and Swaroop Nadella is the text, and this is the ending of the tag. In this case, link text is not applicable. So link text is applicable only when there is an a tag, which is the links, and href is there. Then only the link text method will work. So here link text not applicable, but you can use a XPath, like XPath you can use like double slash div, put brackets, text, you can pass the text. Swaroop Nadella is the text here. So use the text method and give equal to, and you can pass the value of the text in single quotes or double quotes, which is fine. So this way you can construct the XPath. So this is another example. So in this example, the link text is not applicable. Only the link text is applicable whenever there are links available. So the a tag it will be starting. If you want to identify for the link text, it is a tag, and href will have some whatever URL it want to redirect. So this is one example. These are another other examples. So the text method you can utilize based on the requirement. So the next category is XPath with contains method. So the example for contains method is in case you want to like let me take a simple example. So this is an single attribute XPath. So in this XPath, if the username is exactly matching only, then only the locator is going to pass. In real time projects, let me take like you are having some IDs coming like in the web page like ABC 12345, and another ID is coming like ABC 23456, and another ID is coming like maybe the ID is changing every time whenever you are reloading the web page. So in the same web page, the same element is having a different locator every time. So ABC and some other random numbers are coming. When you refresh the page again one more time, you are getting like ABC, some other text is coming. In this case, how can you find a solid XPath, right? It's not possible. You cannot write like this. If I pass ABC 12345, it will work at that time, but next iteration, whenever the page refreshes or tomorrow you are executing, right, the ID is going to change again. How can you do that? So in this case, you have to use the contains method. So what is the syntax for contents? So you have to write contents inside the square bracket. So write contents, and contents is having small bracket. Inside the square bracket, write contents and put small bracket. And you have to pass two values. One is the attribute, at the rate attribute you have to pass, and the value you can pass partial value. The value position can be anywhere. The ABC can be at the start of the text, or it can be at the middle of the text, or end of the text. Anywhere it can be. It can be somewhere. Like if I want to pass only ABC, right? It is at the middle here. In this example, it is at the starting. Let me take like in this example, it is at the end. So it is at the end here. So if I apply it somewhere here, right? So you pass ID and you can give ABC. ABC. So this ABC is a partial attribute value which is available in any position. It can be at the starting, or it can be at the center, or it can be at the end. Anywhere it can be. So this is the syntax, and not only ID, you can pass any attribute that is available in the HTML page. So either it is name or placeholder. In this case, we are having so many locators, right? Attributes. So if I place it on username, we are having placeholder, type, and data hyphen test is there. And you are also having the class also. Any one of them you can pass, and the contents method will be very useful when the locators are changing frequently, like a random number is generated along with a solid text. So the text is every time same, but the numbers are generated, or some other alphanumeric characters are generated every time. Then you cannot find a unique locator. That time you can utilize this. So this is going to be very useful method for contents. So if you want to find out, right? So in this example, let me take like we are having username. So here username is there. Instead of username, if I pass user, it should work. So you see one of one is coming. Even if I am passing the partial text of user also, it is working. Instead of user, if I am passing name also, it will work. So user name, and you skip U, the first letter U you skip, and SCR you give NAME. So any partial value you are giving, right? It is going to work. The text can be, the position can be anywhere in the overall value. The attribute is having some value, so the partial value you can pass. So there is one more useful method, XPath, with starts with method. So what is the syntax for starts with method? You have to give like the tag name. So in this case, it's not input, it's like tag name, and you give starts with and give bracket, and you can pass the attribute value. So the example is, you can take like this is the example. So username is the total text, and either you can pass user, or if you pass USE also, this should work. So it's not contents, it starts with. So let me try this. Starts with whether it will work. So one of one is coming. Even if you are passing user, it should work. I am passing user here, so even the user should work. It's working. So the importance of starts with method, right? It is like the value, whatever it is starting. In the username, total value is there, so you have to pass the starting value. If you pass only name, that is not that is the ending value. That will not work. This method only works only when you are giving the text which is at the starting of the value. In case the ABC 2 3 4 5 6 is there, so ABC is the starting value, and after the ABC some other values are coming in the runtime, different values. So if you are passing ABC, that will work. In the same way, username, you can pass the total value or you can pass the initial value, which is fine. So starts with method will accept only when the values are at the starting location. So the contains is like any position. There is no restriction. It can be in any position. So this should be at the starting. This should be contains is at the any position. So we have seen this. So the starts with method is also working. So as of now, we were always writing the XPath with one tag name, one attribute, and one value, or multiple attributes. So anyway, it is working. So there is a one more kind of XPath called as chained XPath. So what is chained XPath? If you go back to the web page, right? Suppose this username is not having any attributes. Uh, let's take like this login box is there, right? Let me take like the username field is not having some attributes to find a locator. So I am starting from the class. So class login box. So let me write the locator for this class login box. Put double slash and give div is the tag name, and inside the square bracket at the rate class you have to give and give login box. So it is giving me the total section of the username, password, and login. Everything is coming, right? So suppose the input is not having any attributes. Let's take an example. And you want to find the locator using some other locator. So the class equal to login box is the parent element. So using that parent, you want to find the locator for the child, right? So this is chained XPath. What we will do, under the div we are having a form. So you can close the form and see like only one form is there. So if I put slash and put form, so this locator is like the child element. So this div class equal to login box is the parent, and slash form means that is the child of the this particular element. So only one form is there. So after the form, if I am putting one more slash and giving div, so you can see three elements are there totally: username, password, and there is an error message container. So total three elements are there. So you can see three elements are there totally. So first of all, I am taking the overall section, the login box overall section I am taking, and I am going to the child element. Like the child element is form, the child tag, and again div is coming, right? This is giving me three elements. In case you want to find only one element, you can pass the number. This is called as index. So put square bracket and you can pass 1, you can pass 2, you can pass 3. So this way you can pass the individual elements. So this div is giving me 3 elements totally, but I want to find a unique locator. So if I give the index starting with 1, it will be giving me the first element in the order from the top to bottom. Number 1 is the first element. If I am passing number 2, it will give me the second element password. And the third element is div class error message container. So sometimes you may not find the unique locator, that time you have to pass the index. So the index will start with 1. Index in square bracket, right? Starts with 1. So it will not start with 0. This is not array, so you should not relate that to here. So it will always start with number 1. If I am passing 0 here, it will not work. So 0 is if I am passing, right? 0 of 0 is coming. This is not an array, right? So this is a real web page, and the index always start with 1. If there are multiple elements, you have to pass the index. So sometimes you will not find the unique locator in the automation projects. At that time, we have to use this index also. It is very rare, but you have to utilize in this way also. So chained XPath means find one element, and if you want to go to the child element, you can use the single slash you have to give. So the chained XPath, you can think like it is a combination of relative and absolute XPath. Combination of relative and absolute XPath. Absolute XPath generally start with the root node and every element will have slash slash slash. So if we go back to the previous session, we have seen the absolute XPath. So everything is having single slash, right? So similarly, but the chained XPath, the logic is like first of all you find the locator of the absolute relative XPath of an element, and you want to traverse to the child element. So put slash form and again put slash dev. Then totally we got three elements. So if you put the index, you can find a unique element. So this is the first element. So this is second element, and this is third element. So you can utilize even the chained XPath whenever there is a requirement in the company. And when I go back and tell you, right, the contains method, you should use comma separator. You should not use equal to. So in case of attribute and value, you can use equal to, but the contains method will have a comma separator. So at the rate ID and you have to put the comma, and even the starts with method you should put comma. And even the text method also you can use. So in this case, if you want to use contains text, right? Contains. So let me copy this one. So even the contains text is also possible. So here instead of attribute, you can pass text also. So in case you want to see some example, let's go back to the web page and check for the Swag Labs. So Swag Labs is having div class login logo Swag Labs. So let me copy this login logo. Okay, so our example is text. So I'm giving like what is the tag name for this? So let's see. So div is the tag, double slash div you can give, and inside the bracket you put contains and put small bracket. Inside the small bracket put text. So this is the way you can control Z. So contains and pass the partial text. So in case you want to use a partial text also, sometimes you cannot find an element with an attribute. You have to pass the text only, partial text. So because the other text may be keep on changing. Suppose sometimes the swag ABC text is coming and sometimes swag XYZ is coming on the web page. So you cannot use that exact text in the XPath. You have to use the partial text. So for that case, you can even use this kind of XPath also. Here instead of swag labs, I am giving only swag in the locator. So contains text is one more possibility. So contains text, and even I think starts with also you can use with the text method is we can use even with this one also. Starts with and you can put text here and put swag. So let me try this. So here instead of div, I need to input, I need to give div. So do control F here. So even the starts with or contains. So starts with and contains we are using in this case. So these are also possible. So in the previous session, I told already one coding example with one of the attribute. So all these possibilities, we can also try the demo also if you want. Let's see one by one. So few of them I will show some execution today. So right click and create a new package called day 6. Click on finish. And under this, let's start the one more class I will create, and XPath demo 1 I am taking. Select the main method and click on finish. WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver I am taking now. So keep the cursor and import statements are not coming. So I told one shortcut, right? Control Shift O if you are giving. All the import statements will come by default. Control Shift O if you are doing on the keyboard. All the required imports will come in the Java project. Either it is a regular Java or Selenium Java, it is fine. So Control Shift O you can do. And after this, this new Firefox driver will launch the Firefox browser, and driver.get method I will use to pass the source demo website. So let's load the source demo website, and after this, I will pass driver.find element by.xpath. So the XPath value we need to pass, and what is the return type? The return type is web element. So we can take like username equal to, and for web element you can do the import statement. So on the web element username we have to do send keys, right? So some username Swaroop I am going to pass just for checking purpose. So let's start with the first example. So the single attribute, whether it will work or not, let's see. So here I am trying for single attribute. You can put single quotes if you don't want, slash double quote if you don't want, you can put single quote. Either single quote or double quote is fine for XPath. You can put the value in the single quote or double quote. And if we are executing this code, the browser Firefox will be launched and the website will be loaded, and it will go to this element username, and it will type the text Swaroop. So this is example. This is the example for single attribute. So let's execute run as Java application. So source demo website is loaded, and you can see Swaroop text is printed in the username field. So the single attribute is working fine. Now let me try it for multi attribute. So I am going to copy paste this code and comment out the previous one. So this is for multiple attributes. So just replace all this XPath with the multi attribute XPath. And comment out the single attribute XPath. So let's try with multi attribute XPath. Close this browser. I can use here driver.close, but you cannot see that Swaroop text is printed or not. That's why I did not use the driver.close here. So Swaroop is printed. I just want to show that it is working. If I put driver.close, immediately it is going to close. After Swaroop is entered, immediately it will close. So that's why driver.close I did not use. So multi attribute is also working. You can use any attribute. So this one is working. The second one you can try it out. And if you want to use the wildcard also, it is fine. Like you can also utilize this. So Control V and in this case, I am going to pass this XPath, first XPath. And instead of input, I need to put star here. Instead of a regular tag name, I am giving star mark. That is the only difference here. So let me execute this. So run as Java application. So source demo is loaded and Swaroop text is printed here. So this is also working. So let me show the next one. So with AND operator and OR operator. So this is the AND operation. And instead of Swaroop, let me put Swaroop Nadella. So if I rerun this, it is going to put that username Swaroop Nadella, and this is example for AND operator. So Swaroop Nadella is entered successfully, and you can also check it out for OR operation also. So instead of AND, I am simply giving OR here. Run as Java application. So it is entering Swaroop Nadella on the username field. So and OR operation is also working. And in case I want to try with the text method, right? So the text method, I have given you examples for a different things. So I think text method in this web page, it's not possible. I think so. Swag Labs is a text, right? So we can utilize this. So let's try. So instead of a regular text in the previous session I told already. So the text method I showed in the previous session. So I'm going to try with the contains text. So starts with or contains we can try. So I'm going to use this contains text. So comment out this web element and swag labs element I'm taking driver dot find element by dot xpath. Inside the double quotes, you pass the div contains text. So the swag label I'm passing and give double quotes and where is the bracket? I think the bracket went to the next line. So div contains text swag I'm passing. So on this element, the send keys will not work. So you have to use like this swag labs dot get text you have to use in order to retrieve the text value. String text equal to or text val or something, anything you can give. And let's print this one on the console. So if I execute the code, Firefox browser is launched and source demo is loaded, and it will go and get the Swag Labs title using this XPath, and Swag Labs text is printed on the console. That is what going to happen. So run as Java application. So Swag Labs title will be printed on the console. There is no input send keys I have commented out because the example is text, right? So similarly, you can also try with starts with and even the contains with ID attribute. You can try it out. I have already showed everything is working in the XPath Finder. So this is the XPath Finder, everything is one of one is coming whenever I showed you this one. So this notes will be available for you after the session, so you can download it and practice everything. So you have to practice everything. I have showed some examples. If I show every example, already I showed 561. So if I show, like, it is going to take more time. So try to practice with this website, or you can also use the demo open cart or book cart, any other demo website you take and practice all these things. These are very important in terms of the interviews also. They can give some website and ask to write the locator. So if you are aware of different ways that to do, right, so then you can able to easily answer that questions. So practice is important. So practice in the browser first. So in the writing the code is very simple. By.xpath you will give and pass the locator. That is very simple. But finding the locator by writing the locator in the XPath browser, that is important. The syntax is important. So practice with all these examples. So I have covered multiple things: single attribute, multiple attribute, and with the star mark wildcard I have showed, and or operations I have showed, and with the text method I have showed, contains method with attributes I have showed. Content method is partial text, and starts with method is the text that is at the starting of the attribute value. And the chained XPath also you can try it out. So this is going to work. So starts with method also we have tried. So starts with and contains text method. So these are some of the examples for XPath, and XPath also having some more things. So let me proceed for with that. So up to this is fine. So you can take a different website and continue to practice. So 2 3 websites you have to practice. Now I will be going to the XPath access topic. So this is also slightly big topic. So we have to understand this XPath access. So as of now, we were always finding a single element using the attributes, right? Attributes I am using, and chained XPath I have used it to navigate it to the bottom section. So from top to bottom, I was able to navigate. So chained XPath helped me to navigate from top to bottom. But I cannot navigate in this way using the example which I gave previously with the bottom to top approach. But XPath access will help to navigate from bottom to top and top to bottom. Navigate from top to bottom of the HTML page, and the reverse is also possible. Bottom to top is also possible. In both the directions we can go. Bottom to top also we can go in the HTML page. So this is the HTML structure of the web page. You go right. This is the HTML head is there. Then there are multiple tags. So in the middle of the somewhere in the middle of the HTML page, I am finding some locator, and using that locator, if I want to find the child element locator, or I want to find the parent locator, such kind of activity is possible with the XPath access concept. So whatever previously we have seen, that is only when it is that same attribute is that tag is having the values or attributes, then only this above topics will work. But this XPath access is slightly different, and it is having some concepts. So let me take a paint and I'll explain that. So let's take, like, we have some element we are having. Let's take an example. So let me name that element. So some tag. Let's take one tag is there, that let me call the name as element. In case from this element you want to find the parent, right? You can also use the another box here, and I can find the parent. So using the child, like, element is one of the tag, and using this tag you can go to the parent element also. That is possible using the XPath access. And in case you want to go to the grandparent also, that is called as ancestor in XPath. So ancestor is also possible. ANCESTOR. So this element is also sometimes called as self also, you can call. This you can call as self also. And parent you can call as parent. So generally one element, one tag will have a parent in the HTML page, and ancestors, all the previous elements which are at the top of the element, those are ancestors. Above the parent, whatever tags are available, those are called as ancestor elements. So all these are connected to one another. So if I connect this, so element is there, like this current element, whatever you know the locator. If you are using the parent on that, then the parent will be found. And in case on the element you are applying ancestor, right? All the elements which are on top of the element above the parent, it will be working. So I will give a demo. First of all, I am explaining it in an image format. So this is the diagram, and if you are calling self, right, that same element will be found. And we have some more elements, like under one element we can have child also. So this is the current HTML tag I am having. Element is the current HTML tag, and if you want to find the child, right, you can use the child here. Use the tag name, so child will be found. So there can be multiple childs sometimes. So one tag can have multiple childs. So child one, child two, child three. So and uh, so this element is having multiple child elements. So childs are there. Suppose the element we should want to go to the grandchild. So child is there, then grandchild. How can I grow to the grandchild? So there is some terminology like descendant we have to use. So the term is descendant. If you use the descendant, it will go to the grandchild element. So below the child, we are having some more child. It's like a grandchild tags we are having. If you want to navigate, you can use the descendant here from the parent, like the self node wherever we are currently located. Using ID or XPath or anything we are finding, right? Relative XPath we find and found the element. So this element we have found, and in case I want to navigate to the grandchild tag, you can use the descendant directly. Use the keyword called descendant and it will go there. So I will show you everything in practical demo. So first of all, let's understand this theoretically. And this is the element that I am having, and we are having one parent, right? And parent also can have some more tags available. So under the parent, there can be few more things. So for the parent, let's take like we are having total 3 elements. So the first element is the element that I am currently working on, and this is the parent, and this there will be one more tag here, and there will be one more tag. So these both the tags are called as siblings. So similar to how the real world, the parents are having multiple children, and every children we call as siblings, right? So in the HTML XML language also we call this as preceding sibling. This is called as preceding sibling, and we call the next element as following sibling. So if suppose I am at the some element, and if I want to navigate to the parent tag, I can use the parent keyword. If I want to go to the grandparent, ancestor I have to use, and if I want to go to the child, I can use the child, and if I want to go to the grandchild, descendant I have to use. If I want to highlight only the current element, self we can use. And if I want to go to the sibling, so the parent is having multiple childs, right? So the following sibling, which is below the element, you can use following sibling. And if it is above that particular current element, that is called as preceding sibling. So these are the different things we are going to see some demo now. So apart from this, there are two more things. So there are elements like preceding, following. So these are like all the elements which are before the element. So the element currently we are somewhere. So if you use preceding on that, every tag that is available above the current element, it will be listed out. If I use the following, every tag that is below the current node, it will be listed out. So I will be showing all the examples. So theoretically, I have showed you a demo now, but let's see one by one. So current element, we call it as self. And if we want to go to the parent, we call as parent. If we want to go to the grandparent, we call that as ancestor. And in case you want to go to the child of the current node, right? Child we have to use. And descendant is for the grandchild. And preceding sibling, following sibling. And we are also having like preceding and following. So all these things we have to practice. So let's see one by one. So let me go back to the web page and I'm going to refresh this. Let's start again. So inspect. So currently I'm at the node ID equal to username. So far whatever I explained in the image, let me explain. So for the input tag, div is the parent, form is the grandparent. So grandparent we call in the XPath language like ancestor. So if I use the parent for the input tag, the div will be highlighted. So this div is called as parent for the current node, and form is the ancestor, and whatever are there above that, right, everything is an ancestor. So grandparent or great grandparent, everything is an ancestor. So let's start step by step. So do control F and do double slash and put input, and what is the locator for the current element, let's find out. So id equal to username. So let me put that inside, put at the rate and put id equal to username. So you see one of one is coming. So this is for the current element. So this is the current element, and in case you want to apply the self, right? How can we apply the self? Put slash here and put self text. Still 0 of 0 is coming. So if you put simply self, it did not work. It won't work. You should put double colon symbol. In the keyboard there is a colon symbol. You put double colon and put the tag name of the current tag. Input is the current tag. So this is the syntax if you want to go to the self tag. So this is one thing, and this is another locator. Put a slash and put self and put double colon. So in the keyboard you have a colon symbol. Put double colon and put input. So this syntax you have to follow. And instead of input, even if you put star also, it will work. Star is a wildcard. Instead of a tag, you can always put a star. So in case of star, it will be pointing the multiple elements. So this is one locator, and this is another locator. Star means multiple elements can come sometimes, so you should use it carefully. So instead of any tag, wherever you are writing a tag, you can put a star. Here also input, instead of input, you put star also, it will work. So instead of input, if I am giving star, right? So one of one is coming. So this is fine. So these are the example for the self node. So self is like we don't need to, generally we don't use this one. We can use directly the locator, and just for making you understand the self how it will work. Self you put colon colon and put the tag name. Anyway, it is going to point the same tag only. So this is not used in any project. So just for understanding. So self node means current element. So let's see the parent now. So if I go back to the web page and let me remove the self and all. So so I'm currently with this ID equal to username. So sorry. So ID equal to username, right? This is the current element that currently I am having, and you have to put one slash here and write parent. Again, you should put one colon. So this separator is important. So without this double colon, the XPath access will not work. So the importance of XPath access is you have to use the double colon along with the other keywords. Whatever keywords I am telling, along with that you should put the double colon and give the tag name. So access name you have to give and put double colon and put the tag name also you have to give. This is the syntax you have to follow. Uh, First of all, you have to find the current element that you want to find, and after that you should put the slash and give the access name and the tag name. Access name means whatever thing like self or parent or ancestor or anything. So in this case, the username is having the parent called div. In general, the parent will be only one. There won't be multiple parents. A given element will always have a single parent. So we will always know like it is a div only. So you can put a star or div, anything is fine. So in case I want to do control C and let me try it out here. So you can see parent double colon div, it is working. So instead of div, if I put star also, it is going to work. So this is the syntax for parent. This is my current element. On current element, put a slash and put parent, put double colon and put div or star. Anything is fine. So it will be giving me only single parent. Parent will be always one in HTML structure. So let's see the ancestor. So this is my current element. So let me construct the ancestor. Put one slash and write ancestor and again put double colon. And in this case, let me put div and check how it will work. So this is my current element and put a slash and put ancestor and double colon and put any tag name whatever is available above that. So if I am trying this one, so you can see total 7 elements are there. Why we have 7 elements? So the input tag is having a parent div. Above parent, whatever element is there, all these are called as ancestor elements. So there will be multiple grand parent elements. So 7 elements are there totally. So this is going to give me like multiple elements, multiple ancestors. So in case you want to restrict to some specific ancestor, right? If I give one means the immediate parent will be coming here. So instead of div, I should give form here. So if I give form means, so I think the div I should not give, form I have to give here. So form if I am giving only one is coming, but in case div I am giving, right, multiple are coming. So input is my current element, div is the parent, above the parent form is there. So form is the ancestor. And if I am giving div means all the previous ancestors will come. Total 7 elements are there totally. So from div ID equal to root, one ancestor, second ancestor, then third ancestor, 4, 5, 6. Total in between 7 is there. Total 7 ancestors are there. If I use the div means multiple is coming. Form means only single is there. So in case of div, in case you want to find a unique one, right? So remove everything and paste it. So here total 7 elements I am getting. So if I put in square bracket 1 means the immediate main ancestor will come. So this is the first element. I think if I am applying the div, the immediate parent is coming as the ancestor. So even the parent is treated as ancestor in XML. In case div 2 if I am giving, right, current element, parent, ancestor, and div 2 is the second ancestor. The parent is the first ancestor and div 2 is the second ancestor. Div 3 if I am giving, it is giving me the 1, 2, 3. If I am giving div 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Based on your requirement, you can find out the locator in this way. In this case, we are having some value for the class, but sometimes in the web pages we don't find any attribute value. At that time, you have to use this way. So, so you can pass 2, 3, 4, anything like that. Total 7 elements are there in this case. So you can pass the index and find the locator. Let me try for the child. Ancestors are like multiple, all the grandparents you can think of. So the keyword is ancestor you have to use. And if I try for the child element, so for showing the child element, I have to take some other attribute in this case. So the input is not having any child here. So let me switch to a different element. So I want to find the locator for this first of all. Put double slash and I am giving star here and put square bracket at the rate. So this is the locator for the login box. So this is the complete section. And if I want to find the child, right, I can put form or div or input, anything I can give. So if you want to find a child means you have to write the child, put double quote, double colon, and whatever is the child of login box. We are having how many elements? Only one child is there in this case. So form we have to use. If I use form here, it is going to find the child element. So here only one element is there in this example. So on this child, if I want to do one more time, if I put div, right, total 3 elements are coming. So you can put child double colon div. If I give total 3 elements will come. On the child one more time, one more level I can go down. So on this current node, I have given child. It has gone to the child element form, which is below the current tag, the child tag. And again, if I am giving child means the element below that. So in this way, multiple childs is also possible. It is allowed and you can utilize that if you want. So total 3 elements are there. If I put number 1 means the first index only will be retrieved. So the first element is the username field, and if I pass the number 2, it will be the password field. So the password div is having this one, and if I pass 3 means it is going to be this error message container. So based on your requirement, you can utilize any one of them. So number 1, number 2, number 3. So on the current node, you put one slash and put the child keyword and put the double colon, and whatever is the child tag name is there, either the tag or put star mark, totally fine. So wherever tag is there, you can put a star, it will work. So instead of a form, I can put a star here, it will work. 1 of 1 is coming. So this is also possible. So either the tag name or the star mark you can put. So the child logic I have showed, and when it comes to the descendant, right? Descendant is like a grandchild. So on the current element, we are having one child, and the child is having one more child. That is called as descendant. So if I try this login box one more time on the web page. So currently I am on this login box, and the child is form here. Under the form, we are having 1, 2, 3, total 4 elements are there. 3 divs are there, div, 3 divs are there. One input is there. So that means total 4 children are there. So if I put descendant means I will get total 4 elements. So let me try that. So first of all, you have to do and put descendant, put double colon, and if I put div, totally 3 elements will come, because here 4 elements, one is the input and 3 are divs are there. So totally 4 elements. So this is going to give me the grandchild. So under the current node login box, we are having one child form. Under the child, we are having grandchild's total four elements. So descendant is nothing but the grandchild element. So if I apply this one, what happens? So you can see one of two, one of three, two of three, three of three. Total three elements are coming. So the same way, if I put input means only single element will be there. Okay, I think there are multiple elements internal to that, so it is giving me multiple things. So one, two, three. So total three input boxes are there: username, password, and login. So the descendant not only the immediate, it is even taking the sub child also. It is taking like the great grandchild also. It is taking. So Control F, and if I put div here, total three elements are coming. So let me close these div sections. So the class login box is having form is the parent, child. Sorry, div class is the current element. Form is the child, and div is the descendant or the grandchild. You can think of. So total three divs are there. You can see three elements: one of three, two of three, three of three. And if you pass the index, this will be called as a single element. So here I am getting three elements. If I want to find a unique locator, then put a index one you can pass, and it will only find the one element. In case of this input, what is happening? Control F and put the input. So under the current node, there is a child, and under the child we are having multiple inputs. So first input, second input, third input. All these three are treated as a grandchild. Under the child we have grandchild, but even below that also the descendant it is taking. It is similar to the ancestor. Ancestor also, all the great grandparents, everything is considered as a grandparent only. So similarly, below the child whatever is there, like form is the child here. Below the child whatever inputs are available. So the child is having grandchild div, and below the grandchild and one more child is there input. So it is all these tags are considered as the descendant only. So in this case totally three elements are coming. So try to practice this and understand. So descendant you can apply on the current node. So current node is login box. So if I apply on input, right, input do not have any kind of child or anything, so you cannot apply it on a single tag. The tag should have a children, then only you can apply the descendant. Descendant and child you can apply only on a tag which is having a children. Below the tag there should be sub tags, then only you can apply the descendant and child. So preceding is another thing. So this will apply on the parent element. So for that let me take a different example. So clear this one. So let me start again. So inspect and find the username first of all. This is the current element that I am having. And what is the parent element? Form group is the parent element that I have. So I want to currently find out the locator for the preceding sibling. So before finding that, I have to find out the current node, right? So current node, I am taking the username text box one more time. So put double slash star, and I am giving square bracket ID equal to username I am passing. So this is the current node. So do control F and search it. So username I am getting the current node, and I want to go to the preceding sibling. So div is the parent in this case. So div is the parent, and sibling means the parent is having another tag. It should be. Okay, so let me try that. So in case you want to find the, in this case I think, first of all, I'm going to the parent. So if I give username parent div, right, so it will be going control F, and it will go to this, so current element, and if I'm giving parent div, it is going to the parent element. And on the parent I want to apply the preceding sibling, because the current node is not having any siblings. That's why I am not able to directly show you the preceding sibling directly, because uh, under the parent we have only single tag. That's why we cannot directly show this. So what I will do, I will go to the parent first of all, and on the parent I will apply the preceding sibling. Okay, so this example will not work for preceding sibling. Why? Because above the input, above the username, we don't have anything else. So we have to use the password if you want to see the preceding sibling. So first of all, let me find out the locator for password. So why I am saying we cannot find, I'll explain. So first of all, find the locator for password. So this is the current node that I am having. Control C, Control F here, and you can find the username. Okay, I should put @ID. So password field is highlighted. The current node is password. On the password element, directly if I am putting the following or preceding sibling, right? If there is such element, it will work. But in this case, I don't have any another tag below the parent. If we have multiple tags, I can directly put a slash and use the following or preceding sibling. But here we don't have any such case. If I go back to the image, so the current element is having one parent, and parent is totally having three elements. So the first element, second is current element, and third is the following sibling. So I don't have any such example in this web page to show you. So for that case, first of all, before going to the following sibling, I want to apply the parent. So that first of all, I will go to the parent, and I will apply the preceding sibling. So password field is there. For the password, I am going to the parent div. So the parent div is password input is having a div of parent, and on that if I apply the preceding sibling, what happens? It will go to the previous tag, which is the username. So for the password, the parent is div, and for the parent there is a preceding sibling called another form. Under that we having the username. Suppose username is not having any tag, right? Any attributes. How can you find the ID for that? This is like in interviews also people will ask. So first of all, you have to go to the parent, and the parent is having one sibling. So you can go to the sibling for the parent. So parent is having one preceding sibling. So this tag is above the sibling, right? So it is called as preceding sibling. And put double quote, double colon, and give div. So the tag name is div in this case. Do Control F, and if you search, right, somewhere I didn't give @ symbol. So you have to give @ here for the attribute. So now you can see one of one is coming. How this is constructed? First of all, you are at the password, and parent is the parent double colon div. If I am giving, it will go to the parent element, and preceding sibling means it will go to the current element sibling. So which is at the same level. So the form group and form group are at the same level. These are sibling elements. So preceding sibling double colon div will go to this form group. And if you want to find the input, you can put input slash input, or even you can put child double colon div input. If we give, it will go to the username. So this is the element for username. username XPath. Using the password, if I want to extract the XPath for the username, so this is the username XPath. If you want to find in this way, right, use the password for locator and go to the parent and then apply the sibling preceding sibling here, again apply the child here, then only username XPath you can find. So try to practice this. So this is interesting, and if you don't practice, it's not easy. So you have to practice this one definitely. In case the current element is already having multiple siblings, then you can instead of using the parent, you can directly use the preceding sibling or following sibling. You can directly apply. But in my case, in this example, I don't have the direct siblings. So if I go to the parent node, then only I have a sibling. That's why multi-level have showed you. So you can take a different website and you can definitely find some elements which are preceding. So above the password, if you directly have the username input in the same tag directly, you can use the preceding sibling. But in my case, I don't have it. That's why I went to the parent first. And on the parent is having a preceding sibling. And under that, I'm having a child. This input is the username field. So this is slightly tricky and complex, but if you practice, it is simple. So just try to practice this. So the preceding sibling example is done, and if you want to see the following sibling, right? So for the following sibling, we have to use the reverse approach. So first of all, I will use the username. I will be finding the locator, and on that, I will apply the following sibling. I can find the XPath for following sibling. So first of all, I will be starting with the username. So you can go here, you can check ID equal to username, right? So double slash star ID equal to username. What it will point? So control F. So it is pointing me to the username locator. And on that, I will go to the parent tag. So this will be going to the parent of the current locator. So for the ID username, I am having a parent called div class form group. And on that, if I want to apply the following sibling, so this parent class form group is having a following sibling called another div class form group. Under that, we are having the password field. So we have to apply this text following sibling and put double colon, and there is a div tag. So this is the locator for the following sibling. So first of all, I am starting with the username and going to the parent. On the parent, I am applying the following sibling. It is going to this div, and you can apply the same thing again. So slash child double colon input, if you are giving, you will find the password field locator. So even though I pass the username here, you can see password element is highlighted. Why? Because this XPath access is pointing to the password field. So double slash star ID equal to username, and then go to the parent element, and then the parent is having the following siblings. The second element is the following, right? It is following the parent. So sibling means at the same level. So form group and form group at the same level. So after that, the form group is having a child called as input. So this locator is pointing to the password. Using the username XPath, I found the password XPath in this case. So there can be some cases where the password is having the locator and the username do not have any locator. Then you have to use the XPath access and find out the locator. And in case the username is having the locator and password is not having a locator, right? Then you have to follow this XPath access and you can utilize this logic like go to parent and go to sibling. So try to practice this. This is interesting. Preceding and following is simple. Like if you want to go to any element, right? Suppose Currently, let me suppose like I am at the form, I'm at this element. So I am at login box class. So locator, how you can write XPath, put in square bracket with @ attribute equal to login box. This is my locator for class login box. So if I want to apply the preceding means every element above that it will take. So slash you have to give and write preceding, and whatever tag you want to specify. Suppose this login box is having the parent like preceding means all the tags, any tag you can specify. Suppose I am giving div here, then it will highlight all the elements of div. It can be in any position. So at the top section, whatever is there, you can see like only one of one is coming. Let's see like so login box. So above login box, preceding only one element is coming. Okay. So in this case, only one is coming. In case I want to apply the password, let me take this password, /* inside square bracket, put @ and pass password. So password field is highlighted. And for password field, if I want to apply the preceding, right, ;div. So it is going to give me two elements. So the password is having the preceding two tags are there. So one tag and second tag, two tags it is highlighting. So preceding means whatever is above that. There is no particular order or there is no parent-child relationship in preceding. So whatever tags are above that, it will be pointing out. So two elements. So you can either whatever based on the requirement you will be using the preceding, and in case you want to use the following, right, you can apply the following also. So in case of following, how it is, whatever is below that, uh, if we are going to the password, first of all, this is the password field, and if I am putting following ;div, it will be going to all the elements that are following it. That means the it can be in any position. So all the divs which are below the current div, it will be pointing. So following example is like simple. It's whatever element is following the password field, it will be coming up. Every element, all following, all elements below current element. Preceding means all elements above current element. So these are the examples for preceding and following. So self is for current node and parent is for the immediate element parent, and ancestor is all the grandparents. So all the elements which are above the parent, everything is considered ancestor. Even the parent is also sometimes based on the tag name that we are passing, it is taking the ancestor or even parent also. So if there is only one ancestor, like a form is only one is there, so that why only single element was found in case of ancestor. And child elements are whatever element is below that. So login box is having some child, so form I have found. So try to practice this whatever example or take some other website. You will understand this better. So the descendants are the grandchild elements. So there is a slight difference between the preceding sibling and preceding. So preceding means all the elements above that, but the preceding sibling is the at the same level. If I go to the image, so current element and parent is having totally three elements. So this is the parent element. it is having one tag, second tag, and third tag. So for the current element, if I am using the preceding sibling, for the parent, we are having total three, right? So the current element, whatever is above that, it is preceding sibling. In case of preceding, it is every tag. It's not related to parent or anything. It's like every tag that is above the current element. So the current element can have any number of tags. So div is one tag you can consider. So div or input anything if you are passing. Preceding is different from preceding sibling, and following is different from following sibling. So following sibling only works with the parent. So the parent is having three elements totally: current element, preceding sibling, and following sibling. So following means every tag that is below that. In the HTML page, there can be multiple tags available. So current element, below current element, there will be div, like any position, right? If you scroll down, so all those are called as following. Preceding means which are above in the above section, following or below section. But sibling is related to the parent, immediate parent element. So based on the requirement, you can utilize this, find the XPath, and you can also write it in the code and practice it. So maybe the every locator, whatever I observed here, it may not work in the code because these are just example we are able to find whether it is working or not, right? So if you use a valid locator, that's why then only it will work. So I can show you one example for the input. Uh, Using the password, I have entered the username, right? So this is the example for username XPath. Using the password, I can enter the text in the username I can show, and using the username, I can enter the text in the password. So two examples I can show you now. So I can create one class saying XPath access demo. Select the main method, click on finish. So let me copy the same website. These first two lines of code I am copying. Launching the Firefox browser and going to the source demo website. So after this, driver.find element by.xpath, and inside this XPath I need to pass. So I want to enter the text in the username field. So I am using the password locator and using this preceding sibling whatever I found out, right? So I will check whether this will work or not. So remove all the spaces. So instead of double quote, I am putting single quote in this case and put semicolon at the end. So this is the locator for username. So using the password, I was able to find the locator for username. Web element username equal to, and keep the cursor and do the import for web element. So in the username field, I want to enter the text send keys and enter Swaroop Nadella as the username. And in the same thing, like for the password field also, let me use a different element. So driver dot find element by dot xpath. So using the username locator, I have used the password xpath. So I have used the relative xpath of username and used the parent and following sibling child input. This will be pointing to the password xpath. So let's try this one. So in this case, slash double quote is there. It should work. So there is no problem. Password dot send keys. We can put any text just for testing purpose. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it. So I don't want to close the browser. I just wanted to see whether it is going to work or not. Run as Java application. So Firefox browser is launched and website is loaded, and you can see username Swaroop Nadella is entered and password 123456 is entered. So in case you want to enter even a valid input also, we will try this with valid input. Username dot send keys. So let's enter the standard user, and in this case password dot send keys. Secret sauce is the password. So it is launching the browser and entering the standard secret password. Even I can do the automation for login click also. So previously we have seen for other examples. So you can practice it with after login, and also you can click on the login here. Then you can see the product text is coming and Sauce Labs backpack, and you can practice it with trying to print all these values whatever is on the this page, right? Sauce Labs backpack and what is the price, and you can also try to automate add to cart. So all this you can practice. So this is like you can treat like assignment. So click on login. So I'm not showing the login click also. This we have already seen previously for other locators. So here I just wanted to show the locators for using preceding sibling, following sibling. So all these things I explained, but you have to practice this. So this double colon and using the tag name we have to do. So multiple are there. Self is there, parent is there, then ancestor is the grandparents, and we have child, we have descendant, we have the preceding sibling, following sibling. Wherever there is a requirement, there only we will use. So every tag will never will always will not have a preceding sibling and following sibling. Only when there is such kind of requirement, we will utilize that. And preceding and following mostly it will work with, because preceding and following there will be always some elements generally. So preceding and following can be used for any kind of elements. But preceding sibling and following sibling will work only when there are corresponding elements at the current node. So for the current node, you should have a sibling. So descendant is the grandchild. So try to practice this. Um, I think we have some questions. Let's see the questions. So why do we need following siblings? So like I told in this case, right? Following siblings, why do we need? So in case I have the password field, password locator only, but I don't have the username locator, then I can use preceding sibling. In case I have the locator only for the username and password do not have any kind of attribute to use as a locator, then you have to use the following sibling. I think that is the example. So I can apply the same things even for other websites also. I can give an assignment for you. You can use this demo.opencard.com, and you can inspect any element and find the preceding and succeeding elements. Suppose I want to find out the input text box. So this is the current element. If I put the parent, right, the parent is this tag, and if I give the ancestor, all these elements are ancestor elements. So if I take this as the current element, the child element is input, and the button is also one more child. So the current element, child and child, and under the button I am having some more elements. So these are treated like a descendant. So current element, child, under the child I am having grandchild. This is descendant. So same way you can apply with a different. If I go to this carousel, so if I scroll down, let me put it somewhere. So go to MacBook. So this product is having. So let me take this is the current node. So this is the child element. So for the child, this div is the grandchild. That is descendant. So you can apply the descendant and find the locator. So practice this with demo cart also. Demo open cart you can utilize to practice this. So I showed all the examples in one of the way. So you can use this in a multiple combinations. So parent and following and child, you can mix it like anything, like you can practice it with different websites. So you can practice with this website and book cart also you can practice. So bookcart.azurewebsites.net. This is a demo website. If you go and inspect, you can also try it. So if you consider this as the current node, child, grandchild is descendant. Under this we are having some filters are there. Hi everyone, welcome to the today's session, day 7 of Selenium Java. So previously we were discussing about the different types of locators, and last session I have discussed about the XPath access topic. So in today's session I will be showing you some complex XPath in terms of the interview perspective. So using the XPath access, we will write, it's like one of the interview question. So it is a complex XPath. It's not straightforward. Like you cannot write a simple XPath using an ID or a class name. You can write it, but there is a XPath access also you have to use here. So whatever XPath access topic I have covered in yesterday's session, so the same logic I am going to use in the today's session in order to solve this problem. Whatever question I am going to say. So it's an e-commerce website. Let me open the browser. Go to new private window, and here I am going to Myntra.com. It's an shopping website, Myntra.com, and here go to men, and I am opening the formal shirts. So you can see some elements are displayed on this web page, right? So I will say the problem statement, and then we will find the XPath now. So the problem statement is there are some filters on the left side. So if you see there are filters, right? Brand, color, discount. So there are three filters, and each filter is having multiple checkboxes are there. So I need to write a common XPath by passing the filter header text. So what are the filter header text I am having here? I am having brand, I am having what else? Color is there, discount range is there. So I need to find only one XPath. In that, if I am changing the color, right? If I am changing the brand, or if I am changing the color, if I am changing the discount, then all the checkboxes options should be coming, and I can use maybe a for loop in order to check whichever checkbox I want to click. Suppose I am clicking in the brand. Let me take arrow brand. Click on the arrow. So it is filtering the arrow results, and if I am selecting any one of the labels, so all these are labels here. So if I am selecting Ellen Solly, so it is filtering that. So similarly, if I am clicking on the blue color, it is going to filter the blue color. Similarly, if I go to the discount and click on the 30% or above, so only XPath example I am going to say, we are not going to automate this website end to end. The requirement is the interview question is like we need to find in one XPath when we are changing the text of the filter. Accordingly, the same locator should work for all the three categories. So in order to do that in this website, the right click is not working. So if you are doing right click, right, it's not working. So you have to press on the F12 in the keyboard. So it will be opening these developer tools. If you press F12 in the keyboard, developer tools will open. And it is same as if you are doing inspect with right click, right? The developer tools will open the same thing. But in this website, the right click is disabled by Myntra.com. So we cannot do right click inside the browser window. But you can open the F12 in the keyboard, or the developer tools will open. Go to this HTML structure, and let's start with the brand first. So I will show the example for brand, and whenever I'm changing the label for color or discount range, accordingly the XPath will be varying. So first of all, find the text for brand. So brand text is available inside the span vertical filters header. So if I want to write an XPath for this, how can I write? Simple XPath double slash span is the tag and the text is brand. So for text method, put the square bracket, put text small bracket equal to in single quotes, pass the brand. This is the simple XPath which will help me to find the brand label. So if I am doing control F and searching for that, one of one is coming. So the brand text is highlighted whenever I am searching for it. So this is up to the finding the filter text. So after this, what I have to do, my main goal is like finding the locators for this checkboxes. So arrow, Van Heusen, Park Avenue, all these filters, whatever is available, right? Checkboxes. I need to find a common locator for the checkboxes. So let's find out where the checkbox label is there. So select the arrow, and you can see the brand is there. Below the brand, we are having some more tags. So div tag is there, UL tag is there. Under the UL tag, if you open, there is an LI tag, there is a label tag. Under the label, there is a checkbox. So the checkbox is below the, there are multiple tags available. So there is one tag called span, and under that div is there, under that UL is there. If I open the UL, there is an LI tag one more time. Under that, there is a child tag label input. So in order to build this logic, right, we have to use the logic of the parent, sibling, those things, whatever we discussed in the XPath access, I need to use that. So this div is the parent, whatever is available, and span is a current node. So as I explained in the previous session, if I open that image, so current element self I am having, right? So if I need to navigate to the element which is beside just under the same parent, if it is in the other element which is under the same parent. So div is the one tag which is the parent. Under the same parent, we are having multiple tags, div, ul, div. So all these come as siblings. So if we go and check the image for the yesterday session. So preceding sibling, the self node or the following sibling, all these come under the same parent. So if I need to go to this UL, right, the span brand tag, whatever is there, the UL tag is coming below that. So what is the thing I have to do? It is following sibling. It is a sibling, but it is following the current node. So I have to put following sibling and put the double colon. And what is the tag I have to give here? So after span div is there, after div UL is there. So UL is the tag we have to specify here. So if I search for this, Control C and do Control F here and search for it. So you can see one of one is coming. But it is highlighting the overall section of the all the checkboxes. But I need a single checkbox. How can I find a single checkbox? So there is under UL one more tag is there, LI is there. Under that one more label is there. So like this, there are multiple labels. You can see like there are multiple LI tags. Every LI is having multiple labels. So you can open one by one all the LIs. So every LI is having a label. So how I am going to write the locator now? So first of all, I am finding the brand text. So brand text XPath I have found relative XPath, and after that using the following sibling, I have found the following sibling node. And if I open one of the LI, let me take the first one arrow. So if I need to go to LI and label, right? If I am directly giving slash li and label, it is going to work. So this is going to work, but this is going to break in future. So if this li whatever is there, it is going to change, right? This is called as chained XPath in yesterday's session I told. So chained XPath may break in future. So it is not recommended. So let me copy this and check. Control F. So you can see 1 of 8 is coming. That means every label now we are able to find the locator. So all the 8 labels we are having the locator. But still this is not recommended one. So the li label I am going to remove, and I am going to give double slash here. After following sibling ul, I am going to give double slash. That means relative locator. So from this locator below this there is a another relative locator I am going to write like label. So here label we are having. So if I go to one of them, so keep the cursor on the arrow. Arrow is a label, and the label is having what? Class is there, vertical filters label, common custom checkbox is there. So I can able to take the entire thing also. This is fine. The entire class name I can take. Copy this and put class equal to, in single quotes or double quotes you pass this. So this class is very big here. Sometimes this label also can change, right? The class text whatever is there it can change. So I want to use only common custom checkbox, but you should not use equal to here. I can use a contains method. Contains means it is a partial text for class I am going to consider. So first of all find the brand and go to the following sibling ul, and use a double slash to find the relative locator under the current sibling. So label class, I'm passing a partial class name because in future there is a chance like this vertical filter label can change. Maybe there is a possibility. So instead of hard coding the complete text, I am going to take partial text like common custom checkbox. So even you can use the full or partial, it is totally fine. So contains method I am using to check the partial class name. So the class comma separator and common custom checkbox. So this is going to check the partial text. So copy the entire thing, Control C, and do Control F here and paste it. So you can see total 8 elements are coming. So on these elements, if you are clicking on one of the element, right, it is going to select the checkbox. So up to this, it should be sufficient. Even the if you want to highlight the checkbox also, it is fine. If you want to put slash input, it is going to highlight the checkbox. Under the label, we are having a child input. So if you want to put slash input also, it is fine. So here slash input I can pass. Up to the label or up to the input you can go. So this is the XPath, custom XPath for brand filter. In case I want to find for color or discount range. So first of all, let me check the text for the color. So color is having this text. So the same XPath is going to work even Control C, and if I am passing instead of brand color. So the same XPath will work even for the color. Control C, Control F here, and you paste the color. So under the color we are having total 7 elements like blue, white, pink, gray, green, navy blue, black. So all these 7 elements are working, right? So you can see the checkboxes are highlighted. So maybe the input is not working. If you remove the input, the labels are highlighting. So if you use up to the labels also, it is fine. The same thing if I am applying for discount range. So here discount range text I need to pass. So instead of color, you just put discount range and copy everything, Control C. Here do Control F and enter. So input seems to be not working. So let me check. Discount range. So under the discount range, we are having UL and LI, and there is a label. So you can see it is again changed. It's not the same XPath. So cus- common custom checkbox is not working in this case. It is different. Common custom radio button is coming. So vertical filters label might be the unique one, I think. If I go back to the brand, let me go back to the brand. So under the brand, if we check the LI, vertical filter label seems to be the text which is going to work in this case. So if I place instead of common custom checkbox, let me remove that and put vertical filters label and search for this. Control C and here remove everything and do Control V. So you can see total 8 elements are coming. So under the discount range, we are having 10% and above 20%, 30, 40, 50, up to 80. Total 8 elements. So instead of this partial class, I am taking the vertical filters label. So if the vertical filters label is also available in the above brand section also, you can able to use that. So if I go back to the brand, under the brand, if I open the child LI arrow, so vertical filters label is going to work in both the cases for the brand, for the color, for the discount range, all the three it is going to work. So I can able to apply this vertical filters label class partial class name for all the three locators. So here the main parameter I'm even in your framework also maybe you can parameterize this thing and based on your requirement you can pass the brand or color or discount range. So we are not going to do any coding, but building the complex XPath using XPath access, I just wanted to show an example. So using the following sibling example with labels and contains method I have used. So you can try it with this brand also. Do Control F and remove everything and paste it. So you can see all the brands are highlighted here. So vertical filters label class is working fine. The same thing you can also check it for color also. Control C, Control F and remove everything and paste it. So let's check. In this case, vertical filters label doesn't seems to work. So for color, what is the label that we have? It is having common custom checkbox. So I think the checkboxes are having some class names and the discount is having the custom radio class name. So accordingly, at least it is working. This label is working for two of the elements. So the common custom checkbox is working for two of them, and this is working for one of the case. So this is how you can build a custom logic, and I will show you with another website. This website is for filters on Mindra.com. We can also take another website where it is similar logic. So if you go to agio.com, so agio.com is also another e-commerce website. So the same logic, it is going to be slightly more complex than this. So we can build on that also. If I open agio.com, it is also another shopping website. So go to men here and I'm opening jacket and coats. So here also right click will not work. You have to do F12 in the keyboard and open the dev tools. Click on F12 in the keyboard and open the dev tools. Doing right click and inspect will not work because these websites have disabled right click option. So my problem statement is the same here also. If I am passing the gender label, I need to able to select men and women. If I am passing the filter as category, I need to able to select these three checkboxes, and there are price also. So if I pass the price filter, I need to able to select the below 500, 500 to 1000. So the logic is exactly same. Only the DOM structure is different. The HTML structure is different, but the logic is exactly same here. So I'm going to build the same kind of logic for this website also, finding a common XPath by passing the filter text. So first of all, find the gender text. So gender is having span and there is a gender. So how to build the logic for this? Double slash span, put the square bracket, text equal to. So this is going to find the text locator for gender. Control F and paste it. So one of one is coming. That means gender label I am able to find. So after this gender label, you can try to find out the locator for this men and women filters. So the men filter is available under this label. So the men text is available under this label, and the woman is also available in another label. So this is the label. So here gender is there and men is available here. So it's not directly straightforward in this case. Previously it was very easy, like we have used the span and used the following sibling, right? That is straightforward. But in this case there are so many tags and we have to navigate this thing. So first of all, span is there, gender is there. So we have able to find the locator for this. So the relative path is found. After this, if you check this div is there, right? The span is having a parent div. So the parent div is having a sibling, and under that sibling we are having this men's label is there. So what I have to do, first of all, I need to find out the locator for gender, and I need to go to the parent, because there is no sibling here which can point out to this men. You have to first of all go to the parent. So how to go to the parent? Put a slash and write parent, double colon, and what is the label for the tag name? Div. So if I am able to control C and do control F here, so it is highlighting the gender parent. So parent double colon div will go to the parent axis. And now the parent is having another sibling is there. So at the same level we are having this facet body, and under that there are multiple child tags, and at the bottom of this there is a label. So for this parent tag, this is now the parent div will be our current node, and it is having a sibling, right? So we have to write following sibling in this case. Why I am applying following sibling? Because this gender tag is having a parent div. So the parent div will now act as a current node for me. So for the current node, there is another facet body which is at the same level. So all these two are at the same level. You can see this is one, and the second one is following sibling. So at the same level they are there. Those are called as siblings. So in order to navigate to that, you should put slash following sibling. And what is the tag name for that? Tag name is div is there. Control C, Control F, and you can search for that. So one of one is there. So gender and go to the parent, and then go to following sibling div. So up to this we are able to find, that's good. Now we have to navigate through all these child tags and finally go to the label. So I'm not going to go through all these different tags, right? Because in future some of the tags might be removed and our test case can fail. So in order to do that, I am going to put double slash here. I will not use a single slash. Single slash means absolute XPath. Double slash means a relative XPath. So use a double slash, and directly I will go to the input checkbox or to the label. So if I click on the input type equal to checkbox, nothing is working. So in this website, the type checkbox doesn't seems to work. Only the label is working. So directly I'm going to write label here. Label is the tag, and inside the square bracket I'm going to write the entire class name you can write, or the partial class name also you can write. Facet link name I am giving. So in order to use the partial one, again contains method you have to use. Put the bracket @class. So this is the custom XPath. So control C and let's see, control F and remove everything and paste it. So you can see two labels are coming here. Men and women are getting highlighted when I'm clicking enter to one of two, two of two. So this is the XPath we have to use in order to find the gender related men and women filters. So let me explain this one more time. First of all, I am finding the gender label, and I cannot directly use the following sibling here because the parent is having the following sibling. So go to the gender. So the gender is having the parent div. The parent is having a following sibling. So first of all, go to the parent div and then go to the following sibling div. And after that, there are so many child tags are there. If you are navigating like one by one, right, then there is a chance like in future it is going to fail because they can remove some of the tags in case of there is no such requirement. So put a double slash. Double slash means after you find this element, the next element is very near to this current element. So this following sibling is one element, and double slash means this is a relative XPath which we discussed previously. So after that you write your locator label, and class is very big here. So if I am using the full class, sometimes there is a possibility of failure. So you can use a contains, or even directly at the rate class equal to, you can give the full text. So this is the full text if you want to use. So I am not going to use the full text. So full text means this entire text you have to pass. And here it, since it is men is coming. In another element it can be woman also. If I highlight on this, woman is having the woman text. And if I go to the jackets and coats, so jackets and coats is having a different class name. So every time the class name is changing, so you have to use a contains method to check the partial text of the class. So full class name will not work in this case. So gender is one example, and after gender we have category, right? Highlight on the category. So this is the category text. So copy the category text, Control C. So after category, what else we have? We have so many filters. So next one is price. So price is in small case. So Control C. So after price, what else we have? We have brands. So with the same XPath, if we are changing the label now, it is going to work. So copy this, put the, instead of gender, put category. So give price and brands. So let me try whether all these things are going to work. Copy the category XPath, do Control F and remove the existing value and paste it. So you can see one of three, two of three, three of three. All the three category filters are working. And if you are checking the price, Control C and do Control F and remove the text, and total 5 elements are there. So under the price we are having 5 elements. Below rupees 500, 500 to 1000. So 1000, 1500, 2000. So Control F, and this locator is working. So only thing I have changed is the text only. I did not change anything else. So for the same thing for the brands. So all the 5 brands are working. One of five, two of five. So similarly, you can apply this for any kind of text, and this is going to work. So you can apply this for other shopping websites also, like Amazon, Flipkart, or any other shopping websites. Uh, this is one of the interview question, and this kind of complex XPath building only generally in the interview they will ask. They will not ask you writing a simple XPath. This kind of simple XPath, whatever I am highlighting, it is generally not asked. So you have to build a complex XPath. So practice the yesterday's session. So in yesterday's session, I covered so many things on the basic single attribute, multiple attribute, and wildcard, star mark, and or operators. And using the text method, I have explained. And contains text also I have explained yesterday. And starts with method also. And chained XPath. After that, this XPath axis is also one big session I told yesterday. So you have to practice this with one or two websites. So if you are practicing, then only you will be able to remember and able to answer clearly in the interview. So try to practice these things. I just wanted to show like couple of experts around that or different websites we can take. So he was saying about this MyVI. So Vodafone Idea is one telecom provider in India. So if you are opening that Vodafone Idea, we are having mobile recharge. So prepaid is having mobile recharge. In this mobile recharge, the problem statement is that based on the price of the recharge, you need to get the locator for this buy button, and there should not be any kind of index or anything. So the problem statement I'll explain, and so we have to go to this myvi.in website and go to the prepaid, then mobile recharge. So after this, we have to get the buy button XPath using the price. So whatever price we are taking, that buy button should come, and we should not have the XPath having any kind of index. So you know about index, previously we discussed it. So suppose multiple elements are coming, if you are passing the index like 1 2 3, like it will select that particular tag in the HTML page for the XPath. But the problem statement is we should not have index in the XPath. So if you know the XPath axis, it is simple. Only thing, it will take 5 minutes. Just we need to inspect these elements. So even if you use any other third party tools also, sometimes it will not exactly give that, because the tools will only give the index most of the times. So you need to know the XPath axis logic. So the sibling, parent, all these things you need to know. So XPath axis, you have to, this is an important thing for interviews. So you have to practice. So previous sessions I told about the Agio and Myntra.com. So this also we will try today. So first of all, let's try with this 151. So 151 rupees is under the span. So if I am doing Control F and putting double slash, span is the tag, and text equal to 151. So you can enclose it in single quotes. So you can see only one element is coming. So one element is highlighted here. So for 151 rupees, only one recharge is available. So this is the basic locator, but it is only giving the price, but I need to get the button. So let's navigate further. So first of all, see where the button is available. So inspect this buy button, and you can see button is available, and button is having a parent div. And if I scroll above, this div is having the sibling, which is span. Under that span, there is a child called 151. So first of all, I need to go from 151 tag to the parent tag, because the that parent is having a sibling called div, and div is having the button. So the navigation should be like, first of all, you go to the parent, put a single slash and put parent. So what is the parent in this case? So 151 price is having a parent which is a span. So parent double colon span, if we give and do this, so copy this and do Control F and paste it. So you can see one element. So 151 parent is highlighted. So after going to parent, you have to use the following sibling. So parent is having a sibling. All these are sibling elements to the parent. So the div is the following sibling. So I need to write here, put a single slash and put following sibling, double colon div I need to give. So this is up to the element div I am getting. So totally 6 elements are there, because there are following siblings, totally 6 elements, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So if I open the other elements, you can see the other elements are all only having the spans only. If you open all the different div tags, there are only spans. So everything is having span only, but the last element is having the button. In case after the last element I am putting slash, single slash and putting button, right? Directly tag name I am giving. So copy this, Control F and You can see one of one is coming. Whenever I am passing the price, the button is coming. So here I have not used any kind of index. So this is the XPath that we have to use for that interview question. So here I did not use any index, only the XPath access logic I have used. First of all, take the text method and whatever price you are taking. Here 151 I am taking. You can take 202 or you can take 349 or 408 or any other 859. Anything you can pass. So 949 let me take. So in case 949 I am taking, like is 979. So if you copy this XPath, so here in the console you can do delete everything and do control F. You can see that element is highlighted. Based on the price, the buy button should get highlighted. Like we are going to find the buy button. So this is the interview question. So similar kind of interview questions you can solve, and maybe we will see one more thing today. So this is about this my VI prepaid mobile recharge. So use the XPath access methods. So we can take another website. Let's take a different website. So let's go to Google, and we can also take Airtel. So Airtel India. So open airtel.in and we can go to the prepaid recharge. So here recharge it is asking the mobile number. View plans we can take under the. So if I go back, prepaid view plans I am taking. So here based on the price, so here even the button is also having the price. I think it may not work that way, I think. So maybe I can inspect and see. Maybe this is not a good example. It's not similar to myvi.in, but let's see. So if I highlight on this 361 rupees recharge, it is having so many nested tags are there. So this is the 361, and if we want to click on this button, the button is somewhere here, like it is also having the price as 361. So this is not a good example for this website. So but at least we can use this, you can get this button in the same way. Let's build this logic. So I am taking the price first of all, the price 361 I am taking. So it is having the tag of H4 and text is rupees 361. So let me try. So this is the airtel.in. So how I need to build double slash and what is the tag? Tag is H4 and you can put text method, text equal to, in single quotes you can pass this. In case you don't want to pass this currency symbol, you can put contains text. So instead of equal to, you pass the partial text and use the contains method. So this method should highlight the element 361. So copy this in the console, you can write. So one of one is coming. That means this element is highlighted, and then we have to go to this parent tags and then get this locator. So this div button and this div is belonging to which tag? Let's see. So this is the div tag that is parent, like siblings. These two are sibling tags. So for this, if I use the class name pack card left section, if I use ancestor double colon div. So if I use ancestor, it is going to give a lot of elements. You can see so many 13 elements are coming. So after applying ancestor, what else? Like class is pack card left section. So if I put the square bracket and pass class, So this is working fine. So after applying the ancestor div, you have to again pass the attribute value. So this is the locator for getting the ancestor pack card left section. So this pack card left section is having a sibling. So again here I need to apply the following sibling div I need to apply and then go to the button. So this is slightly complicated, but it is fine. Like at least some knowledge we are getting with this practice. So following sibling double colon div I need to provide. So let me try this completely. So I'm going to copy this completely. Copy, Control F and paste it. So you can see one of one is coming. So where it is highlighting, it is highlighting this 361 price, right? And if I give slash button, it is going to give okay, it is giving me two elements. One is the price and one is the view detail. So in case you have some other property here, you can pass that. So here class button fit is there. Maybe you can put that. So this will be the XPath whenever I am taking the price of 361. If you are changing the price here, accordingly some other will be coming. So in case you want to get it for 49, so 49 rupees. So remove the 361 and put 49. So but for 49 there are so many 549 also available. So let me try for 579. So 579 only single element is there. Whenever I am typing 579, the corresponding red color button is highlighted. So this way you can write a complex XPath. Only thing the navigation you have to practice. So first of all, take the text method and go to the ancestor or parent, and you can apply that particular tag here. Attribute class you have to apply and go to the following sibling. So this way you can build it. So the same thing, even you can go to Geo also, and this is also mobile recharge. So any recharge or any other Amazon also, we can build it the same way. If you go to mobile, there can be some recharges here. Recharge, maybe recharge plans or somewhere here. Prepaid. So here there are only two plans. If you click on popular plans, there are so many. So based on the price, you can also get the recharge button. So you can treat it like assignment. So this also I can write the XPath, that is fine, but you have to practice, right? So you can take this geo.com also and go to this popular plans. So how to navigate? Go to home page and go to mobile, go to prepaid, and here there is popular plans. If you go to the center of the screen, there is popular plans. So under popular plans, you can take the price and get the recharge button expert. Using the price, get the recharge button. So similarly, like in interviews, they can ask some different things. So just they will try to understand how you are explaining them. So this ancestor, sibling, and how you are applying the relative path and absolute path also. They will just try to understand this. So